Hi everyone, I'm Sarit Shani Hay and I'm a Tel Aviv based designer specialized in the field of design for children. I'm thrilled to be here today with Design Milk for DMTV Milkshake. For those of you who are not familiar with me and my studio, I'm here in my studio and we specialize in various aspects of child design, from furniture design, product design, handmade toys, kids interior, with a special focus on pedagogical environment. So today we're going to play a little game and I'm going to answer a few questions for you, Design Milk, from this bowl, craft wooden bowl, and this is the first question. What do toddlers understand about product design that adults don't or have forgotten? I admire children because I think that children have this unique way to see everything with fresh eyes. Children have this natural affinity for colors and textures. Children get excited so easily. These are all kind of things that we as adults completely forgotten. And I always quote the famous educators, Maria Montessori, who said that adults may admire the environment, they think about it, they reflect about it, but a child absorbs it. It becomes part of his soul. In all my projects, whenever it's a chair that I design or a public space, the best reward for me is to see how children use it. In fact, I started to design for children when my daughter was born. I really wanted to create for her the best utopian world. Coming from the creative fields, I used colors, shapes, and textures in order to inspire her. And I think that for me, it was the way to find my creative calling, professional calling, but also my way to connect or reconnect to my inner child. Okay, and moving to the next question. Okay. So what does inclusive space look like, especially within the context of nurturing spaces for children? A year ago, I was asked by the Tel Aviv municipality to design the first inclusive school in Tel Aviv, which is a flagship project. And it was a great opportunity for me to learn what inclusion means and how do we create the inclusive environment. It was a really challenging project. And since this school supports the integration of children with disabilities, children on the autistic spectrum, special needs, together in regular classroom, and I do like this, we really had to rethink the environment. And the idea was to create an accessible environment which really celebrates the diversity of all children, and we wanted to create a joyful experience of learning for everyone to feel equal and welcome. And the idea was to create an environment that allowed children to move freely. Since we are now in the 21st century, we try to adjust the environment into our times, in the sense that the traditional teaching method was less relevant. Therefore, studies happens everywhere in school, even between the classroom. We used all kind of motifs such as open circle and puzzle shapes in order to convey the message that all children can join the circle, the open circle, even a child on a wheelchair. It was very important for us to find a balance between public spaces and intimate spaces. So throughout the school there are soft nooks that children can find their me time. This is good for all children, but especially for children on the autistic spectrum. At the same time, we created communal spaces for children to gather in order to enhance community life. I think the result was amazing. We even won a prize. And if it's up to me, I would love that all schools around the country will implement this model, because I think that school is the first encounter a child has with society, and it's, in a way, school is a microcosm of society, and I believe that the earlier we expose our children to accept the other, to embrace our differences rather than fear them, the better society will create. Okay, moving to the next question. What did you learn from working on the therapeutic space for children at Tel Aviv Hospital? So last February we were commissioned by Sasa Satan Foundation to design 3 learning spaces and therapeutic spaces in 3 different hospitals around the country. One of them was Tel Aviv, and it was a really challenging project, which we needed to do a lot of observation and research in order to understand what is needed. I even spent some time in a surgery room, and we actually learned that what intuitively I knew, that a good environment and a well-designed environment is really crucial for the healing process for the young patient. The idea was really to create a space that changed hospital from a very traumatic space to a child-friendly space, and we wanted to create a space where children who are about to go through a surgery will come and feel comfortable to ask questions in order to ease their staying there. And we really made a sort of mini surgery room in order to evoke or to promote playful activities with the children. And because we know that while children play, this gives them the time or the ability to forget about their illness even for a minute. I think that playing enhances the healthy side of the patient. And for me, one of the exciting moments was when I came to the hospital in order to say goodbye to the staff and take some photos. A young girl named Ronnie entered the space. She was a 5-year-old girl who just went through surgery, appendix surgery, the night before. Ronnie was connected to the IV. She was very frightened and confused. And I looked at her and was really curious to see how she's going to react. And what happened was, for me, from my point of view, sort of a miracle, because after a few minutes, and without saying no words, Ronnie started to react to the environment. And suddenly you could look at her whole body language changed. She looked calm and relaxed and started to smile. And it was as if she was regaining her control over her destiny. And for me, it was a living demonstration of the power of a playful environment for children. And the last question. What did you learn writing your book, Creative Spaces for Children, that you didn't know at the beginning of writing it? So, first of all, I have my book here, and I'm very proud of it. It's called Sarit Shani Hay, Creative Spaces for Children. So what did I learn? First of all, I learned that it's very difficult to look at your own work and see what you've done, but at the same time it was a really enjoyable process. After working almost for 3 decades, I really had this urge to share my design philosophy with other readers, and I felt that my book really examines the concept of child design on various aspects, from product design, handmade toys, creative spaces for children, such as pedagogical environments, schools and kindergarten, through my own eyes. So the book is actually a bilingual book, and it portrays many projects that I've done through the years, and I consider myself privileged to be doing this. I must say that when I started to design for children, it was not so common. Many people asked me, why do we need to design for children? Children ruin everything. But I think that luckily this thought has changed, and now people realize that it is extremely important to design for children. So the book really gives the idea, tells about my work in the sense that how do we create a design strategy for a place? How do we create the narrative? What are the inspiration? And above all, how do we use design as a tool for social change, which I completely believe in the ability of design to make a change and make a better life for our children. So I want to say goodbye, read my book, and follow me on Instagram. Bye!